What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right. Usually I use my computer to make videos. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to make a quick video. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like going through the whole saving process and all that type of shit. So I'm gonna use one. I'm gonna do a video on my phone real quick. You know what I'm saying? Sorry for the black screen. You know what I'm saying? But look, hey. I just need to get this off my chest about the Golden State Warriors and about Steph Curry and Steve Kerr. Shout out to Ticket TV for his video. I feel the same way. I feel the same way about the Warriors, about their attitude, their body language. Everything about the game just bothered me watching them. Now, the first game of the season, I kind of pretty much gave the Warriors a pass because they were going up against the team that most people consider, well, a lot of people consider the best team in the NBA, the Clippers. It was a 20-point loss, so, that's about what you kind of would expect because a lot of people kind of see the Warriors until today, maybe a 7th or 8th seed team. But what I saw today, I'm now questioning whether or not the Warriors might be one of the worst teams in the NBA. All right? So I got a lot to talk about, man, in this video. Number one, Steve Kerr. What are you doing out there, Steve Kerr? I don't quite understand what he's doing. I guess he's trying to run some type of equal opportunity offense. I don't know exactly what he's doing. But just give the fucking ball to Stephen Curry, man. Now I know D'Angelo Russell got ejected early in the game. Lucky for him, he had to be part of this massacre. But you gotta give the ball to Curry, man. This offense has to be geared toward Stephen Curry chucking up at least 25. I'd say 25. I think Curry needs to shoot 25. Until some other personnel come in, you got to give I think Curry has to take 25, 26 shots a game for his team to even have a chance at getting to the playoffs. I can't even believe this is the Warriors we're watching. I can't even believe this is the same team. I know it's not exactly the same team, but goddamn it, you still have Stephen Curry out there. You still have Draymond Green. Okay? This team should not look like this. This just goes to show that many people, and I know Ticket TV is one of the main ones to say this, Steve Kerr is a very overrated coach. Okay? Most of us have been saying that for a while. That was Mark Jackson's team. Mark Jackson deserves much more credit. I do like it when I've heard some of the analysts, I think Jeff Van Gundy is one of them, who have mentioned that Mark Jackson was the architect of these teams, and he does deserve a lot of credit. But Steve Kerr, for the first time in his coaching career, is going to actually have to coach. See, the last couple of pretenders that have coached that team, Steve Kerr, and we got to remember when Steve Kerr was out with the back injury and all of that, back surgery, and he was out for a while. Luke Walton. These guys, the Warriors roster was so great and was so good that they could overcome Steve Kerr's mediocre coaching decisions or Luke Walton's coaching decisions. But when it got time to Luke Walton to coach an actual team, all right, they didn't have all these super components to it, and he actually had to go out there and coach. We saw what happened to him with the Los Angeles Lakers. We saw the terrible rotations and schemes he came up with. The media wanted to lie to people and tell them that he was a great coach. you know. And now Steve Kerr is being exposed as a mediocre coach. Mediocre coach. Okay? Now, Steve Kerr is not going to be on the hot seat anytime soon because he has been at the helm for years, and they've won 3 championships under his reign, I guess, if you want to call it like that. But we all know what's up. We all know that the mainstream media is not really going to call Steve Kerr out because Steve Kerr is part of that family. Steve Kerr has been part of the NBA family since 1988 as a player. Okay, he's been a media darling for a while, even back with the championship years with the Chicago Bulls. He's a long-time analyst that has ties to ESPN and TNT. So they're not going to really call him out because he got friends who are journalists and analysts. So they're not going to really call him out on shit, in my opinion. But I think you have to do that. All right? I understand they do have some injuries. Okay? I understand that they're missing some personnel. But God damn it, you're still supposed to give some effort out there. You're supposed to give some effort. This is a team that has a championship pedigree. Okay? That's unacceptable. The way that their defense looks is absolutely trash. Trash. 2 games in a row, you easily give up 100 points before the end of the third quarter. The Clippers is one thing, even though they don't have Paul George. But the Thunder? Not saying the Thunder are a horrible team, but come on, they're not one of the better teams in the NBA. The Thunder? Man. Warrior fans should have booed that team tonight. Real Warriors fans should have booed that effort. And Steph Curry is up there smiling and joking when your team is down by 40. No. Michael Jordan would have never tolerated no bullshit like that. Kobe Bryant damn sure wouldn't have tolerated no bullshit like that. Magic Johnson wouldn't have tolerated no bullshit like that. Larry Bird wouldn't have tolerated no bullshit like that. Matter of fact, almost any old school player wouldn't have tolerated no bullshit like that. I'm starting to think, too, that one of the reasons why Jason Kidd may not be that successful as a coach is because Jason Kidd isn't soft on these dudes like some of these other new age coaches are. You know what I'm saying? But look, Curry, look, man, you've been getting all this praise. You've been getting all of this hype since 2015. You've been getting all of this praise. I had someone the other day tell me Stephen Curry is a revolutionary player who's revolutionized the game. He changed the game. He's the only, in capital letters, unanimous MVP. But where's that motherfucker at right now? Where is that motherfucker at right now? Okay? Where is he? All you Steph Curry fanboys, where he at now? Okay? I'm going to name you 2 Chicago legends who were in situations where they had a garbage team around them or they didn't have the personnel that they normally had. They had to put those teams on their back and carry them. One of them is Walter Payton. Walter Payton in 1977 won the league MVP. And you guys know, if you follow the NFL, the MVP award is pretty much a given to be given toward a quarterback. And for it to go to someone who's not a quarterback, they have to do something extraordinary. Okay? Walter Payton carried that team by himself with his legs. He ran that team literally to the playoffs. They went 9-5 that year because their passing game was pretty much non-existent. He had I think he had two 200-yard rushing games that season, including a then record 275 rushing yards in one game, multiple 150-yard games. He carried that team to the playoffs. That's what a superstar does. Michael Jordan, the first half of the '98 season, all right, Scottie Pippen wasn't there. For a handful of games, Tony Kukoc wasn't there. Dennis Rodman was starting to get a little lost in the sauce. Jordan had to do something that he was not accustomed to doing for almost 10 years, which was not only be a scorer, but also facilitate the offense and be a playmaker, especially when Tony Kukoc wasn't out there. Jordan wasn't used to doing that anymore, all right? And the Bulls did struggle a little bit earlier on, but Jordan had to do what he had to do, okay? And he set a tone, okay? Scottie Pippen may not be there, but we're still the goddamn defending NBA champions, and we're going to play like it. Whenever they did lose, you best believe the next time they played against that team, it was going to be a whole different story. To lose by 40? To lose by 40 and you're smiling? I don't even remember Kobe when Shaq was gone, Rick Fox retired, Robert Ory left, I think via free agency. Derek Fisher, I think, went with the Warriors, I think after that 2004 season. Basically, it was almost an entirely different roster. All right. Kobe was going through his situation with the trial. Okay, so Kobe had a lot of shit on his mind. Okay, he had a lot of distractions. But I just looked it up. He still put up 27 points per game, almost 28 points per game, and they still wound up winning 34 games. Now, they didn't get to the playoffs, but they weren't going around there losing by 40 fucking points. And we all saw what Kobe did in 05-06 when he was clear-minded, determined, took arguably the worst roster in the history of the Lakers franchise to the playoffs to win 45 games, averaging over 35 points per game, 62 points in three quarters, 81 points in a game. Charles Barkley in 1987, 88, okay? This was after Moses Malone was traded. Julius Erving retired. Andrew Toney was pretty much gone that season after foot injuries. Okay, Charles Barkley had to take a team where his best teammates were an older Maurice Cheeks and Mike Zeminski. Okay, and he eventually dragged that team to be a playoff contending team and go into the playoffs with really no help. Okay, that's what superstars do. I'm tired of Steph Curry getting all these passes all the time. I understand he's won 3 championships. He's won 2 league MVPs. But goddamn it, Steve Nash has also won 2 league MVPs. Okay? And nobody really considers Steve Nash a GOAT when it pertains to point guards. He's a top 50 player, but he's not in the conversation for GOAT and point guard for obvious reasons. I'm trying not to go there this early, but if Steph Curry continues to be non-dominant when he's the only option, okay, I'm not saying that I expect him to put up numbers like in 2016 because the spacing isn't quite the same. But you're gonna have to put up you're gonna have to show up, man. You're gonna have to show up and be the man, okay? All right, you're gonna have to be the man, or you're gonna kind of validate number one what Michael Jordan just said about you, that you're not a Hall of Famer quite yet, and you still got more to prove. And also, I've said before, and I'll say it again, I've said in the past that if I had to compare him to any player in the past, it was Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. And in the 90s, Abdul-Rauf, his best seasons was like 19-6. So that's it, man. The onus is on the Warriors, man. Steve Kerr, St- Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, they got to set the tone. Those are the leaders. Because if this team if this team only wins like 25, 30 games, man, hey, I'm gonna have to look at everybody differently, man. Everybody.